Students, welcome to a new session of ICAI. We are doing business correspondence and reporting, and the topic for today is report writing. So report writing has been divided into various parts. Today we are doing the first session about it. So please quickly join in. You know my name. My name is Jyoti Singhal, and I've been there with you for a long time. A lot of discussions last time on article writing. Okay, so I have a couple of students joined in. Most welcome, all of you. Good morning, Mehak and Bharat. Good morning, Manish and Dimple, Mahima and Yashraj, Ritu, Aryan, Lovepreet. Good morning, Soumya and Arpi. Good morning, Lisa and Shiri. Lots of good wishes to you on the new year. I hope the new year brings in good success. All of you become CA soon, clear all your exams in your first attempt. Good morning, Ayush and Sarvesh. Good morning, Prasanta. So nice to have you all here. I think some of you would have attended my sessions on article writing. I hope there is no doubt. If you've understood how to take through the query and send it across to me, that's really good. The PPTs have still to be uploaded. I know you all told me to send the PPTs. They'll soon be uploaded, probably by today, end of the day. And whatever we're going to do today, that also will be uploaded. So don't worry. Good morning, Ayushi and Anushka. Good morning, Tina. I'm seeing a couple of new students joining today. Tina wasn't there. Nazhat wasn't there. Anushka and Ayushi, I think you weren't there also. Ayush, Sarvesh, I remember. Lisa, I don't remember you. Good morning, Pramod. I think you were also there very much. So nice, guys. Nice to have you back. Let's start the class. Good morning. Shailang and Akshay Kumar. Oh, we have Akshay Kumar in the class. Wow. Akshay Kumar, what's the new movie release coming from your side then? Okay, so till the time you tell me about the movie release, let's start the class. So I hope everything is clear from the last class and we have nothing pending. I hope I was able to make myself clear. And I expect all of you to get full marks. So if it's a BCR paper, even if it's like qualifying, you have to get really, really good marks. Language is something which is going to take you a very long way. So please keep practicing how to speak. Please keep practicing how to write. And most importantly, be a very patient listener, because as you listen, you realize how things are getting into your head, how exactly you are, comprehending ideas, comprehending new words. So that's the bestest way of learning. Okay, so let's start the class. Fine. So I have a lot of students in class. A very good morning and a very sweet morning to all of you. I wouldn't be able to name so many now because people are just joining in and in. So finally, we're doing report writing. It's a very important topic of, the corporate culture. Once you're coming into the offices, you really need to know how to present a report, what exactly a report is. And very importantly, when you have to prepare a report on your own, that is something which is really difficult, because when we have to prepare a report, it's like a lot of research. It's a lot of, I should say, finding out. So you have to see, just like the way the word is report. You've heard of teleport. You all seen Marvel Avengers. You've seen shape shifting and teleportation. All these features and all these magical powers are there in the Marvel Avengers. Similarly, here it's report, which means something has happened somewhere, and I'm going to tell it to you in other words. I found out some information. I'm going to pass it to you in some other language, in some other presentation style. That is report. It's just like reported speech in English. You must have done that in your grammar part, reported speech. So it's just a reported speech, just that we use it in a more formal and a more official language. So it becomes an official document. That's the only difference between what a proper official report is as compared to the reported speech. Okay. So, okay, Anushka, yes, I know you're attending the class. You were there in the class, I remember, from day one. Yes. Good morning, Swati and Kamlesh. Okay, so I'll start sharing my screen and you will get to know what exactly report writing is. Okay, I hope the screen is visible enough, clear enough. Just a second. I'll make it full screen and then probably things will be easier. Okay. Okay, fine. So this is what the report is. Good morning, Shweta. I'm wishing you a very happy new year too. May God bless you always. Okay, so let's start. Now, first come first, whenever you make a presentation, right now I'm making a presentation, so I'm telling you how it is. Whenever you make a presentation, always remember you have to start with what is the particular topic you are talking about. Okay, always do that. For any PPT, what is it? You know, you either define it or you talk about it in terms of what is article writing, what is pressy writing, what is minutes of the meeting. Please define a report. So first come first, you should understand what is that particular thing you are talking about. That should be your first slide. Okay. Thanks, Anushka. So this is my definition of what is a report. It's an official document. So mostly I've seen reports are official documents because they are submitted to authorities after having done some research. So you must be doing a PhD report, you must be doing a survey report, you must be doing a statistical report, you must be doing an audit report, you must be doing some, some revenue generation report, you must be doing a tax report. So all these are made not just for the fun ki chalo, I have nothing to do, aaj kuch kaam nahi, aaj ek report banate hain. ऐसे नहीं होता है कि आज खाली बैठे हैं, I saw some Netflix series, let's make a report and just share it with my friends on WhatsApp. No, it doesn't happen like that. If you are making a report, it has to be an official document. So please remember that. This word should be there in the question. If I ask you in the exam, what is a report? I want you to write official document. Agar wo word nahi hoga, then I will deduct marks. Okay? So it's an official document of what? What do you actually write in the report? उसमें कोई event discuss होता है, उसमें कोई issue discuss होता है, उसका कोई agenda होता है, कोई situation है, कोई natural calamity हुई है. So, the department is making a report on it. Or maybe, let's say there is some flood management system or there's some disaster management team which has come and made a report about how many casualties in this particular disaster, how many survived, how many perished, how many injured. All that comes under the report. Okay, so Manish, what do you think? How is a report different from an article? If you've attended my article writing class and now you're attending my report writing class and you're seeing the first slide, how do you think it is different? Batao. Quickly, can anybody guess why is an article different from a report? Some things are clear on my screen. You can go through all of them. I'm taking you through each one of them, of course. But agar aapko jaldi padhna hai, to please padh ke just tell me how is a report different from an article. Second thing, it is prepared with a thorough investigation and research. So do we do this in an article? Article is just my free mind. Mujhe kuch man kiya, I'm writing. I just want to write about the weather, I'm writing. I want to write about the greenery in Sundarbans Delta, I'm writing. I want to write about the corruption in politics, I'm writing. Okay, so there is no thorough investigation. This is like all facts have to be checked. I need to have a good authentic source from where I'm gathering all the information and I'm presenting it, because I might come under a scrutiny if anything goes wrong. And बहुत time लगता है research बनाने में, and mostly क्या होता है, there are so many things involved in a report that we rather prefer to work as a team. So 1, 2, 3, 4, any number of people can work on one report because it needs a lot of hard work. It needs a lot of effort put into it. So we say report needs a lot of investigation and research. Okay, Manish says, Manish is still asking, sorry. Okay. Mahima says article may be an imagination and report is what happened. Okay, very good, Mahima. Article is not an official document. Very good, Dimple. That's a good difference. Article is not an official document. It's just a piece of write-up which is being published in a newspaper or a magazine. Lisa, article again, she says article is not an official document. Aisha says article is not meant for a specific audience. Very good. So if there is a report on the cleaning of the sea of the beaches in Mumbai and that's being submitted to the Bombay Municipal Corporation, somebody in Delhi might not need it. So it's being circulated to a specific group. Suppose there is a financial FY 22-23 report, financial year report on the expenditure made in a certain organization. So that's going to be there only in that organization. As a student, as a teacher, as a doctor, as an engineer, nobody else would need that. But an article is for a widespread audience because it's just imagination. It's just thought. Kuch man mein aaya, likha. Nobody minds reading articles on variety of topics. So that's the difference between an article and a report. Very good. So, okay. Yes, very good, Ritu. Article has a broad range of audience. तो बहुत सारे लोग article पढ़ सकते हैं. पढ़ना चाहिए. It might help them, but specific reports पढ़ के not everybody will gain. Very good, Aditya. Very good, Tina. That's a wonderful difference. Article is considered to be an informal style of writing, whereas report is considered to be a formal style of writing. You're giving me a very nice idea, So there can be a question in the exam which says, what is the difference between article writing and report writing? And if it's a 2-mark question, you have to give me at least 2 points. If it's a 3-mark or a 4-mark question, you have to give me at least 4 points. So these are the differences. These are the points which you are discussing, and they're all correct. Okay, Ayush says article is type of creative writing where you can express your own views, while in a report, you cannot give your opinions. Very good, Ayush. बहुत अच्छा answer है. It's a wonderful difference. Article writing is purely based on imagination. It's very creative. There is no creativity involved in report because reports are completely factual. I cannot have my thoughts and opinions put in a report. No beliefs, no judgments, no opinions, hardcore facts. Mehak, bullets writing matlab, I didn't get you, Mehak. Can you please explain again? Very good, Manish. Now you're getting it. So report is basically about an event or an issue or a problem or, a particular act being passed, a particular circular about something. So let's make a report on this. That's a report. Like the number of people who suffered from COVID, the number of casualties, the number of people who could not make it through COVID, all that is report writing. Okay. But article kya hota hai? Generally, the widespread trauma that COVID caused in India or maybe across the world. So I'm just putting my opinion. Mujhe kya lag raha hai? What do I feel is article writing. Okay? You got it? Okay, Ankit Shah. I think Ankit, I've seen you last time also, if I'm not wrong. Article can be formal. Very good. All correct, Ankit. Sagar writes, arrival writing is personal thought. Not arrival writing, article writing. I think that was a typo error. Asif says article means for all, not for one. Okay. Very good, Tanmeet. Report is made in an organized manner. Very, very good. Because there is a certain format we follow, which of course we'll be doing in class today. There is a certain format. I cannot just put together all the content and put it on a piece of paper and then say, okay, this is my report. No. Report made to, from, location, venue, number of pages, content, X, Y, Z, A, B, C. Lot of detailed content hota hai in a report. Article mein kya hai? It can be just like 1 paragraph, 2 paragraphs, just an essay, 3 paragraphs, and no specific template. Ayushi, not necessarily current. It can be a past report also. Current events and happenings to hai hi. But it is possible that I'm writing a report on something. Maybe I'm writing a report, let's say, on the Pearl Harbor incident. I'm writing a report on the Bhopal gas tragedy. It's possible. So something which happened in the past, that can also have a report written. But of course, it has to be factual, like Tanmeet is saying. Okay. Thank you so much, Ritu. Thanks a lot. So all of you have understood. Adishri. Article is not specific to some person. Very good. No, Nazhat, nothing can have grammatical mistakes. If you're seeing it from that point of view, then please make sure no piece of writing should have grammatical mistakes, neither an article nor a report. Grammatical mistakes तो accepted नहीं है, not at all. Report is made, presented by organized way. It is only prepared by professionals. Right. Yes, it is prepared by professionals. Then you're saying report writing is based on evidence. Okay, very good, Swati, because unless I have evidence, I cannot prove my statistics. I cannot prove my figures. So if I'm using a lot of figures and facts, then I have to have some authentic source, which I can claim to be as, my source for all the information. So don't always rely on sources which do not have a sure authenticity. Okay, please. I have seen many of you just believing on Wikipedia because these are things which, people are only feeding in them. It's not that it's genuinely true. It might be, it might not be. So whenever you are gathering information from somewhere, it's very important that you know that the source is authentic. You can check the source and don't just blindly believe it because it's there on the net. Don't do that. Okay. I'm sorry, Suraj, we are still doing what is a report. The slide is on your screen. You may have a read, please. We are still on the discussion of what is a report. So I will not be repeating the whole thing. It's already been 20 minutes. If you've joined in late, I'm really sorry for that. But whatever is there on my screen, this is what we have been discussing. And till now, we have discussed the difference between a report and an article. So the last, of course, is there is evidence about there is evidence about whatever I am claiming to be true. There are statistics, there are facts, there are figures, and there is a proper conclusion. Without a conclusion, a report is incomplete. If you are asked to prepare a report in office, in training, during articleship, or maybe whenever you are practicing on your own, you have your own firm, or whatever you do in life, whenever you are writing a report, even if it is during the BCR exam, if you don't give a conclusion, it's incomplete. Straight away, -1. Got it? Don't cry if you lose marks because it's your fault. And also reports have summaries. Reports have a certain format. We'll do the format, don't worry. Don't worry at all. There is always a format which we have to follow. And there are various kinds of report. And every report has a certain way of presenting itself. So that, of course, is something which you have to learn, which you really have to understand, but take your time, okay? And I'm repeating. If you do not study, if you do not read your study material, you will not be able to practice enough. Because for us, in 2 hours of time, even if it's 4 hours of time, because sometimes, the same topic goes on to 2 classes, I'm trying my best to give you whatever is there in the study material so that you don't miss out on things. But yet, if you don't read the study material, it has a theory, it has a lot of practice questions, it has a lot of examples, it has a lot of solved questions. So I request you, please read the study material. This is chapter 9, report writing. So much of effort goes into making the study material, then I really feel bad if you don't read it. Okay? Keep it safely. But don't keep it safely till the exam. Exam से पहले उसको खोल के पढ़ना शुरू करो. These slides plus the study material plus your general practice is going to get you full marks in the BCR paper. Okay? Any doubts? Kuch problem, Arushi? I shouldn't be speaking in English like what you said. There's no word like English. I don't know why you guys keep making Hindi plus English. BCR exam, Ritu, you can refer to the mock papers. I've been telling you so many times, refer to the mock papers, see the revision test papers. All practice things are there. You will get to know what exactly is there in the report, what exactly is there in the Pressy, what kind of questions are coming in article writing. Okay? Okay, so Mahima and Manish, all okay? Any doubts? No, article is not based on fact. Very good, Pragati. Okay, okay, so okay, fine, no doubts as such. All is good. Okay, so I'm assuming this slide is okay, and now we're going to the next slide. Okay, what kind of information is given through a report? Why is there information given through a report? The question is, if I'm making a report, what am I actually trying to do? I'm trying to inform about an event. Suppose something happened at the Red Fort. Something happened at Jantar Mantar in Delhi. Something happened at Gateway of India in Mumbai. You know, an incident, an event. Maybe there were gunshots. Maybe there was a campaign. Maybe there was a candlelight march. Maybe there was a protest. Maybe there was a gang war. Anything which happened. Vidyanand, I didn't get you. You cannot understand English. I'm sorry, but this is a BCR paper, right? And everything goes into English. So you really have to adjust. Please listen. If there is any specific doubt, Vidya, you can ask me, but it's not possible for me to speak in Hindi because that's the main agenda. You have to develop your language. Okay? Aditi will do the reports. So when you see the practice questions and when you see the examples in the booklet, you will get to know what exactly the conclusion is in a report. Okay, so don't worry about that. But please do open your study material even before the day ends. Don't wait for my report writing session to get over because I think we have 2 classes. Uske baad bhi, if you can open, it will be very good. But whenever I'm doing a topic, I expect that, you side by side keep your study material open so that you keep referring to what exactly is happening because the classes are completely based on that only, nothing else. Okay. Okay, so this is the first one. Now, second is the after effects or ongoing impact of an incident or occurrence. Suppose we had the CIA. Okay, the CAA. So all these things are a topic for which there are going to be ongoing impacts. Okay, there's going to be after effects. So the CAA becomes something which is always into discussion. Then comes a topic like, let's say, a bill being passed. Okay, let's say the Jammu and Kashmir bill being passed, or let's say the LGBTQ Act. So whatever new acts, bills, sections are being passed, anything which is going to be an after effect that can be shown through a report. The impact of that incident can be shown through a report. Suppose there was a stampede in Vaishno Devi, maybe. So what exactly happened? How did it start? How did it end? What were the causes? All that's going to come into the report. Okay. Next comes statistical data evaluation. This can be typically for finance and, let's say the economic society. So maybe we're making a report on the economic development in a particular city, in a district, in a town, in a tehsil, in a zilla, in a mandal. So all that becomes statistical data because I'm trying to collect information and I'm going to analyze it. So even if it's about, let's say, the population, if it's about a demography, it's about census, all that becomes statistical data. Fine? Clear? 3 points clear? Any doubts in the first 3 points? I'll wait. Any doubts if you have for the first 3 points, please ask me. If you are clear, then we'll move on. Yeah, GST, demonetization. So GST, what exactly is GST? How did it happen? What is the impact it had on the society? That can be a good point for the report. Okay. Clear, clear. Okay, very good. Okay, thanks, Mahima, and thanks, Dimple. It's clear, very good. I appreciate that. Fine. Now let's go on to the 4th point. Now, the 4th point is basically interpretations based on reports data. So there is some report which I'm reading. This was a survey report made by United Nations in the year 1985. I'm going to interpret it in certain way and I'm going to present it as another report. That is what the fourth point is. So report pe report, like we remember this dialogue of Sunny Deol, Tariq pe Tariq. So this is report pe report. Okay. So report pe report means somebody's report I'm going to interpret, and then I'm going to prepare another report to interpret it in certain way. That is what interpretations based on the report's data means. Next comes based on the report's information, make predictions or suggestions. So there is a report, some kind of suggestions are being given. I want to predict, okay, suppose, there is a meteorological department report about the monsoon season this year. So if there is going to be a monsoon season, how will it be? Will it going to help the kharif crops or the rabi crops? Will it be helpful for the farmers in a particular area? Which state will get the maximum rainfall? Which state will get the minimum rainfall? All that is information which is making predictions and suggestions. So I'm going to predict that. Even for natural calamities, we have this, the meteorological department is predicting a cyclone or a tsunami. That is all about reports information. Now, last comes relationships between the information and other reports. So relationships between the information and other report is basically a comparative study. Yes, Manish, that was very good. Predictions are allowed in report writing with all the evidence. So, when a meteorological department makes a prediction, it's based on a certain evidence. Okay, it's based on a certain thought. You can't just predict it. I think it's going to rain today because I want it to rain. I think I'm going to go for a picnic today because I want to go on a picnic. No, aise wale predictions nahi. Predictions which are based on science or pseudosciences, which have some real, concrete basis, only then those predictions are allowed. So we don't call them predictions, we call them like, suggestions given by the department. Okay, clear? Anything which you want to ask me now? If the slide is okay, if you all have understood, any doubt? Factual predictions. Yeah, Ritu, very good. I'm waiting. Anything which you want to ask me, anything which is not clear in this slide. We're going very slowly. We'll go slide by slide. By the end of the day, I want you to be like experts in report writing. Is that possible? So please tell me. Very good, Ritu. Okay, Lisa, the last point is nothing but it is a comparative study. So when I'm comparing two reports, I say what is the relation between, what's happening in a particular state as opposed to the other state. So when it's a comparison between the two reports made for the same issue, it can be given by means of a report. Arey Suraj, yes, ma'am, it is necessary. A report has to be based on facts. That's what we have been discussing since morning. Without facts, there is no report. A report means any official document based on facts, no fiction. Okay, Suraj? Resources of report, Akshay Kumar, what do you mean? Akshay Kumar is like early morning person. He gets up very early. I think, Akshay, what time do you get up, Akshay Kumar? Thank you so much. Mastan. Can I call you Mastan? Okay, Lisa got it. Suraj, samajh aaya? Are you sure you understood? Okay, Akshay, tell me, what time do you get up? Akshay Kumar gets up early in the morning. I know that I've seen in his interviews. What time do you get up? Good morning, Rabish. Why are you so late to class? Positive prediction, yeah. I mean, it depends, Asif, what kind of prediction. See, if I simply consider that my prediction is based on certain research, then I'm free to put it in a report. But if it's just like in the air without any concrete backing, then I won't put it. Okay, that's what basically predictions in a report would mean. So normative ones wouldn't always mean negative ones, but yes, you can put normative ones also. Oh, okay. No worries, Ravish. Thank you so much, Mastan, for that good comment. Fifth point, Tina, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Based on the report's information, make predictions or suggestions. So basically what happens is, suppose the meteorological department has made a report about about a tsunami alert in Chennai. Okay. So what am I going to do? I'm going to read the report and I'm going to make predictions based on that report. So one report is already giving me a lot of information. I'm going to gather some very important things and make further predictions and further suggestions. That's what the fifth point says. Oh, yes, Manish, there are several rules and you're supposed to follow all the rules. That's the good part of it. So what are the rules? Of course, we're going to discuss it through the, as the class passes on. All the rules just ask you to follow a certain format. Now, what happens is, when we are doing a report writing, we have a certain way of asking our students because, you are still in that student mode. So we want you to do it in a certain way. But when you go to the office, when you go join your firms, there'll be a little difference, but more or less the basis of a report writing remains the same. So our basic agenda is that you get to that level that you know what exactly is a report, how to present it, plus minus one styles of presentation that might change sometimes, but otherwise it's okay. Fine. Okay. Good morning, Raju. Why are you so late? Okay, Mahima got it. Very good. Now, what's the next thing? Can I move on? Anything which you need to ask? Okay, or else we move on to the next slide. Okay. So types of report. Here is the basic thing about how many types of reports are there. These are the three which we will be doing for your BCR paper. Okay. You might have other styles also, but our concentration will only be on these three reports: magazine reports, newspaper reports, and official reports. So the first one is a magazine report, which is basically a report which is published in a magazine. So if you're reading magazines like India Today, Week, Frontline, then Outlook, so these are all magazine reports, which are simple. Newspaper reports are a little more meant for general reading because a newspaper is being, circulated across the country and many people subscribe for a newspaper. So newspaper report is more about things which are widespread, more about things which are needed for the masses to know. That is more about a newspaper report. Okay. Okay. So I think I've already asked you. Not exactly necessary, Sagar, because I'll anyways be uploading the PPT and all this more or less in a different way is there in your study material. So we just aim to explain that you have a lot of discussion channel available. That's the only reason why I'm sharing my slides. Okay. So has anybody any idea about what is a newspaper report? Have you ever seen a newspaper report? Or can you tell me what is a magazine report and how is it different from a newspaper report? Official report we are not doing right now because that involves a lot of details and technicalities. But besides that, the newspaper and magazine report are really, really simple. So you will be able to do them. Tell me if you have any idea about newspaper and magazine reports. Ashutosh, yes, formats are there. We will discuss the formats. Don't worry. everything in writing has a format, except for, let's say, an article, because the only format in an article is you need to have a title, a heading. Otherwise, you need to have a format. Tell me, I'm waiting for your answers. If you can tell me, how do you think a newspaper report will be different from a magazine report? Always remember, students, keep your minds active. Please don't wait for ready-made answers. You should be always in that mode that somebody asks me, I should be able to answer, no matter what. Galat sahi is not important. What is important is you are trying, you are attempting. So you are using your current knowledge and whatever knowledge you have. Not that you did not know anything before the class, not possible, right? So whatever you know before the class, use that knowledge and come out with wonderful answers. That shows me the promptness and the activeness of a class. And you guys are one of the best batches I've ever seen, because every time I come for a class, I see, okay, this batch is really great because you're active, you're always responding, you're answering questions, you're giving me your viewpoint, you're answering on your own, you're adding to my points. So that makes me feel very energetic that yes, this is the class which I would love to interact with physically in person also. Okay, I've got so many answers and I'm so happy. Mahima, Pramod, Bharat, Ritu, Dimple, Sarvesh, Ravish. Okay, so Ravish says newspaper reports means for accounts of current events and happenings. So I think Ravish, you joined a little late. I told you it can be about reports in general, can be about past events also. But yes, he's very correct in saying that newspaper reports will be for current events, like something which happened yesterday will probably get published in the newspaper today. Very good, Ravish. Sarvesh says newspaper is based on current affairs. Magazine reports are always not based on current affairs. Okay. So magazine might suddenly think, okay, let me talk about something which happened in 2010 and then let me make it a report and publish it. That's possible. But a newspaper will mostly, in fact, very close to 100% publish reports which are of the latest happenings. That's why it's called a newspaper, because it's the news. And news is nothing but something which is happening on a daily basis. Any information which is being passed on a daily basis is news. Ritu has also said the same thing. Very good. Dimple says magazine reports for pleasure. Well, pleasure, okay, I can take it. That's a good thought, actually, because not all reports are meant only for, some specific value or information passing purpose. It can be for pleasure. Okay, Nabeen says on the bus and truck accident in Bihar, I think that. Yes, that was basically a news report. Okay, so anything which is a news is always used in the form of a news report. Correct, Nabeen? Bharat says newspaper report like how the pandemic of COVID-19, how many people died, etc. Okay, Bharat. So magazine reports can be about, generally what's a business firm doing, how are the Ambanis doing in their particular business, what is happening in the Tata firm, which might not be a current happening, it just might be a general information. So nothing to do with today and yesterday and day after, but a newspaper will definitely have something to do with yesterday because it's very, very latest. Okay. Okay, Mahima, correct. Newspaper reports are based on event, but magazine reports are based on specific events. Well, Mastan, I didn't get your point. It's very close. Whatever you've written is mostly the same. Sagar, you're correct. Okay. Suraj has a point. He says newspaper reports are about trying to create an impact on the people by giving whatever information and predictions, whereas magazine reports are only to introduce people with the topic. Well, but can't I make up my mind when I read something in the magazine? Does it not help me? Does it not create an impact on me? So I wouldn't 100% agree with you on this. Okay, Astha. Okay, Rabish, specific events. Magazine reports are based on cultural program which happen in school, college, like blood donation camp. Shweta, so what the problem is, this is only when it is in a school magazine or a college magazine. What about a magazine like India Today? What about a magazine like The Week? What about a magazine like The Outlook? In those magazines, you will not have, these blood donation camps and cultural events. Those are called closed groups. Like, in IIT, there was a fest called Rendezvous and all this happened. In some college, there was a fest called Malhar and all this happened. So it's very important to understand that you are talking about a magazine report, which is a college magazine or a school magazine or an organization magazine, not a general day-to-day reading magazine. Okay. Okay, Ritu. Pragati says, okay, so what I am gathering from all your answers is what you have understood is a newspaper report will be more on factual events, things which have been happening currently or off lately, whereas a magazine might take up a topic which probably refers to, something in the past or the recent past or the long past, kuch bhi. Okay, great. Okay, let's move on now. So lots of answers. First of all, you should clap for yourself. I think I should give you some, some stars. Let me see if I can. So this is for the class. So this is for this class. I'm giving you a 5-star because all of you, literally all of you have attempted to come out and give your comments, give me your opinion. So this shows me how, active you are in responding. It's called alacrity when you want to respond with a lot of willingness. I'll probably put this word here. This is what you have done. So you have responded with alacrity, means you've actually tried to come out and speak, express yourself, give your opinion, give me what you know, share knowledge. And this is the best thing any student can do. So the youth of today has to be like this. You have to be very vocal. You have to be very speaking openly kinds. Of course, within decent limits. Don't cross your limits ever, whether you're speaking to elders or your teachers or your colleagues or your neighbors or your friends. There has to be drawing the line limit. But you guys have really, really responded so very well and you've made my day. So these 5 stars are for you because, not always all students in the class are like this. But here in this class, I'm saying everybody is coming out with some answer. And the best part is you're not thinking about it's right or it's wrong. You're just telling me what you feel is correct. And that's what I expect from students. Just speak up. If you don't share, how will I know what's going on in your mind? How will I correct you if you're wrong? How will I add more information even if you're right? So there needs to be a good knowledge transfer between the students and the faculties. And this is a wonderful way. Okay. Okay. So Raju, what difference are you talking about? I don't know, because we are towards the end of the slide. I don't know what is the doubt you are asking me. I did not understand the difference. Difference between what? Please explain. Okay. So good job, guys. On the whole, you've really done well. Okay. Let's just stop this. And let's move on the next slide. I hope you are all on the same page with me. So this is the basic format for a report. It's as simple as anything. You don't even have to put something in your head that, as if it's very difficult. There needs to be a title. What is the report for? Report on the Gangetic Plains fertility, report on the aquatic life in Sundarbans Delta, report on, let's say, the ozone layer depletion in this particular area, report on global warming, report on melting glaciers, report on environmental studies, report on Narmada Bachao Andolan, report on casualties in a stampede. Anything can be the title, just that the title has to be catchy enough and clear enough that I know. Yes, of course. I know that this is the report about. So that is where I want you to work on. Give me a title which is short. Give me a title which clearly explains the purpose of the report, and give me a title which is quite explanatory. I don't have to think twice कि what is he writing, title में क्या ऐसा है कि मुझे समझ आ जाए कि report क्या है. I don't have to be thinking that much. Okay? Great. So the first is the title. You're going to give me a title. Second line, you all have to give me the name. So mostly in the question, it will be mentioned that you are XYZ, you are Shah Rukh Khan, you are Katrina Kaif, you are Justin Bieber, and you are, maybe, I don't know, anybody. You are Sushma, you are Kanta, you are Ramesh, you are Suresh. All these things will be given. If they are given, then you please write that name. If they are not given, then you can write your own name. Okay? Yes, Ritu, title is very, very important, because without the title, the movement of the write-up doesn't come. I will not understand what exactly are you writing. And title gives me one extra edge that if I like the title, I'll definitely go about and read it. And that's very much happening in an article. In an article writing, title holds a more important space than in a report, because report, of course, is being factual. Everything is factual. You're going to base your report details on certain statistics, on certain facts, on certain figures. And also to tell you, reports can also have Venn diagrams. Reports can also have pie charts. Reports can also have bar graphs. You are free to have anything. Okay? Fine. So the first is the title. The second is the name, to and from. So to is who are you submitting the report, and from is like your name, who is submitting. Place is basically where exactly is the location. So are you in New Delhi? Are you in Mumbai? Are you in some particular district? Is it an organization? Is it an institute? All that comes in the place. Body is basically the whole story, the whole content. What exactly goes into the report is going to come in the body. And last of all is the conclusion. Now I put a star in the conclusion because sometimes I've seen, Article 370 can be a report, yes. Gathers information is where exactly are you getting all the information from? Where are you sourcing the information from? What is your source? Because always remember, your information, whichever you are taking for writing the report, has to be true, has to be authentic, has to be real, has to be genuine. Okay, Ravish? Author's name is your name, for example, because Ritu is writing the report, so author becomes Ritu. From is again your name. To is who are you submitting to. Okay. Now, sometimes it happens that it's from a team. So it can be both ways. So from and name of the author, very much likely to coincide, very much likely to overlap. To is who are you going to submit it. Okay. Not very much, Aditi, because in a report, since it's very factual, we don't expect much of creativity in the title. Okay. To and from is usually in the official report. So this is the basic format. Because not every time you have a to, not every time you have a for, but you always have the name of the author. Okay. So it's mostly for an official report, we ask you to do this, but I'll take you through the magazine, I'll take you through the newspaper, and I'll take you through the official report also. We're going to do all these three. No, not address, Ashutosh. Place is basically where are you writing the report? So are you in a city? Are you in an organization? Are you in an institute? That's the place. Okay. It's not personal address, because you're not going to report anything which is happening at your house. But definitely, if you're working in a Deloitte, you're working in a PwC, you're working in a Grant Thornton, you're working with ICAI. So the place becomes the name of the organization. Okay. No. So Asif, what actually happens is, if you're writing the name of the author, then we don't write from. That's why I've put a star in from, because from completely depends on who exactly is giving it. But if you've written the name of the author, it's okay. Sometimes in the format, they say to and from. So I've given all the possibilities of what exactly is there in a report. It can be name of the author or it can be from. It's one and the same thing. Address. We don't say address. Mastan, we simply say this is not like a sender. That happens in a mail or a letter. So here we don't use the word sender because you are submitting it. Okay. Okay, Aditi, thank you so much. So Rabish has understood, Aditi has understood, Asif has understood. I hope Ashutosh and Mastan have also understood. Ritu and Himanshu, how about you? Ashutosh, Pramod, how about you? Mahima, Raju, what about you? Raju, is the difference clear? I don't know what difference, but is it still there? Sarvesh, Adityanath, and Pragati, and Tanmeet, and Mahavir, all okay till now? Yes, Ritu. From means by whom? Who is writing the report? That is what you have to write in the from section. Okay, in the from part. So I'll show you some examples, and please, I'm repeating again and again and again, please refer to the study material, please refer to the MTPs, please refer to the RTPs. Beautiful examples, clear examples, solved exercises, everything is there. What exactly you can expect in your paper, you can see in the RTP. So if you practice a revision test paper, I think you will all score more than full marks. Okay. And I'll clap for you then. Yes, Suraj, please, you may ask. Everybody is asking. You don't need to ask for permission. You may simply ask. If it's a genuine and a relatable question and it's an appropriate question, I will be happy to answer you. But please remain within the limits of the topic. Don't ask anything beyond that. Lisa, conclusion means what are you ending? So when you are gathering some information and you have to come to a conclusion, so I feel that some steps need to be taken for cleaning the Ganga River. What are the steps? You can put them down. I think a lot of effort has been made, a lot of expenditure has been made, and now we all need to work together towards the cleaning of the Ganga River. That can be a conclusion. Okay. Based on the information, what conclusion are you gathering? First of all, this conclusion part comes in the official report. Okay. It does not come in a newspaper report. It does not come in a magazine report. So if you get a question on write a report for a school picnic or an event like, a dance event being inaugurated or a painting competition or an exhibition gallery, then you don't have to put the conclusions. Conclusions are only there in official reports. Okay. In a newspaper report, in a magazine report, we do not have conclusions. We simply have a title, we have a to and from, we have the place and the body. Okay, Suraj? So that was a good question. Thanks for asking. Yes, Ritu, you can put your own limits. Shweta, for the word limit, they'll generally give it in the question. So if it's a 200, 300, 350, 400 words report, it can be there. And even if there is no word limit, generally for the exam, there is a certain amount of content we expect from you. So you might not go overboard. That I'm very sure of, because you will not have that many ideas during the exam that you go more than the word limit. So even if the word limit is not mentioned, don't bother. Simply write whatever you feel is relevant and then stop. Don't unnecessarily try to fill in information. Conclusion is basically on your own, because right now we're doing fictional reports. Only when you're doing like proper reports in real life, I will expect you to find the conclusion. Right now, it's only fictional reports. So it's okay. Fine. Either name of author or from and... Yes, Nabeen. Very good. Either name or from. To, of course, is important. And title. Yes, Aisha. Conclusion is quite similar to what do you feel about it, because you have finally, crafted the report and devised the report. So basically, it's about what do you feel as a final judgment you're putting in the conclusion. Well, you can read all newspapers. You can read HT, you can read Times of India, you can read the Hindu, you can read the Deccan Chronicle, you can read the Deccan Herald, you can read the Statesman. All newspapers are very good if you want to improve your language, if you want to understand the style. For magazines, I just now named, you can read India Today, Outlook, Frontline, Week. All these are really good magazines. Okay, Akshay? Again, Suraj, there is no specific best word limit because some reports are like 500 pages, some reports are 2 pages, some reports are 20 pages. So for your exam, if you're able to write all the content and give me at least some part of the body, if the body of the report will have like 200 to 250 words and the rest your format is clear, title, name is there, conclusion is there, contents is there, index is there, then I think you will get full marks. So it's basically not about the number of words, but it's more about the presentation and keeping the format in mind for the exam. Okay, so don't worry about the word limit. Yes, Mehak, left side. 2 is who you are submitting it to. So official report mein there is 2. Newspaper report and magazine reports do not have a 2. I have been repeating this. Only when you are submitting the report to somebody, which is the third category, the official document, which we have not discussed. In this case, you will write 2. Otherwise, only from is important in a newspaper report and a magazine report. Only from, the place, the date maybe, and the body. No conclusion, no 2. 2 comes whenever you are going to submit it to somebody. Mahima, I didn't understand. Like, all the organizations have their annual general reports published on the net. So even if you look at Mahindra and Tata and, Birlas and Reliance, they all have some kind of information which can be disclosed. You can check their websites and get to know the report. Place means place or time and date. Yes, Lisa. Okay. So on that note, I think let's take a short break for 5 minutes. I hope the format is clear. The basic format is clear. Details, of course, we'll do gradually after we come back from a break. I'll see you in 5 to 7 minutes. Please take a break, come back with your doubts, and let's have more fun and more interaction. Thank you so much, guys. Okay, good afternoon, students. Welcome back after a short break. I hope you all are feeling energetic, refreshed, and there is nothing which is a doubt. If there is a doubt, please feel free to ask me. I'm very much here. How many report writing classes? Most probably two, Ashutosh. Investor presentations, yes, is also a type of report. Very good, Aryan. Yes. Yes, you have to give your own view, Aditi. Very good. For conclusion, yes. Okay. So any other doubt, if you all have, please clarify. Otherwise, I'll take the class forward. Anything you want to ask me? Is everything clear till here? See, it's a very important topic. First of all, remember that report writing is not something you can easily get away with. It's more important than article writing because it involves a lot of understanding. Article is very creative. You can simply just write anything from your mind. You can write imagination. You can write, let's say, thoughts and opinions and whatever you feel is correct. But for report, people are going to judge you. You're going to be writing only stuff which is relevant, only stuff which is exactly what is to be related to the agenda, and very importantly, very factual. There are no opinions and beliefs and judgments allowed. So please make sure you understand the difference between other styles of writing and report writing, and you start practicing a lot about how to gather information and how to put it in a certain format when it is about a report. Okay. So let's start. Just give me a second. I'll share my screen. Okay. So we have done till basic format. This is where we ended. I'll continue it from here. Just a second. Let me change the slide. Okay. So this is about the steps of writing a report. Now, very important, you have to understand what exactly is a step, which means I cannot simply take a piece of paper and start writing a report. I have to be very, very careful. What is the purpose of the report? Why am I writing the report? Because if I don't know the purpose, I will write anything which goes beyond the scope. Anything beyond the scope, nobody will accept. So the purpose of the report is the reason. Why am I supposed to write the report? How is it going to help somebody? Is it going to bring some change? Is it going to bring a revolution? Is it going to add to the information already given? Whatever. The purposes may be different. You don't have to mention the purpose. It's generally there as objective. Mostly the official reports will have a lines like objective. That might be possible. But otherwise, there is no specific purpose column in the report. Okay, that won't be there. Actually, we'll discuss official report in detail. So don't worry, not tips. I'll give you everything in detail. I'll also make you practice in class. Just that initially I'm taking you through all the general aspects of a report. Okay, because all this is true for magazine, newspaper, and official. That's why I'm taking you through all of them. So the first is purpose. So if I ask you to write a report on, let's say, the increasing traffic menace in Delhi. So how many two-wheelers, how many public transport, how many four-wheelers, how many cabs, how many commuters every day? All that is the purpose, because I want to control the traffic. That's my purpose. Second is your target audience. Now, if I'm writing a report like somebody just mentioned a target audience, somebody just mentioned about the GST report, or maybe a report on demonetization. Okay, it's very important to understand. You have to know who is the target audience. Otherwise, you will not relate to who is going to read the report. You will write something which is much beyond the understanding. You will write something which is for a 10-year-old, but the report was actually meant for managers. The report is meant for CA, but you're writing in such simple English that, okay, an 8th grader is also understanding. All this is very important. So please remember, whenever you are writing, the level should be matching to who the audience is. Why are you writing the report? How is it going to help somebody? And the closed group, that is the target audience. Okay. Next, yes, the purpose is that interest the audience. Yes, very good. Okay. Next comes gather information. I think somebody just asked me what is gather information. Who asked? Ashutosh. Somebody just asked me. So gathering information is collecting all the information from all sides and putting it in a certain way in the report, which means if you have some source, make sure the source is genuine and authentic. Make sure you are not using fake sources and you are collecting relevant information, appropriate information, and you're putting it in the report in a certain format. Okay. Next comes select and filter and organize content. Select means you cannot put all the information in a report, because there is a limit. I cannot have like 1,000 pages of report. Nobody will even read my report. Then that report will straight away go into the dustbin. I don't want to read a report which is so detailed. Report means to the point. So filtering is important. Like you drink filter coffee. All of you drink filter coffee. Red draft. No, that's redraft. I probably did not give a space between re and draft, Manisha. So that's what is confusing you. That's redraft. Okay. Okay. Oh, yes. Ravish had asked that question. Gather information. So gather information is what I was telling you. Collecting it from all sides, putting it into a certain format, selecting it, filtering it, like a sieve, you filter coffee and all that. Then organizing it, A, B, C, D, E, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a certain format. If you can do that, you are the best report writer. Very good. Then I'll clap for you. But if your content is scattered, haphazard, disorganized, conclusion is coming on the first page, this is coming on the second, that is coming on the third, then it's not a good report. So for the report to be good, you have to write it in an organized way. Filtering information means to filter out what is good and what is bad, leaving the bad, writing the good. Filter karte hain, jaise when you make tea, you have a strainer, then you filter the tea. So all the tea leaves and all the tea powder, it remains on the top on the strainer, and what you get down is the tea. That is filtering. Filter karna. Okay. Filter copy is the best. Yes, Ashutosh, I completely agree with you. Dimple. Demonetization. What does this mean? I think you all should know what is demonetization. Tell me, Dimple is asking what is demonetization. Can somebody help me with the answer? Let me see if all of you know. Step 2. Okay, Shruti. So step 2 में क्या होता है? You have to be very sure about who your audience is. You cannot write a report for everybody because the level is different. If you are writing a report for your organization, the style should be different. If you're writing a report for the masses, the style should be different. If you're writing a report for college students, the style should be different. That is the target audience, which is who is going to read the report. That is important. Okay. Okay, let me see if there are any queries. Any doubts still? 1, 2, 3, 4. For the first 4 points, any doubts? Very good, Akshata. Very good, Aditya. Note ban, demonetization was, when monetary aspects were being deconstructed, when you were changing the currency. So what happened when Mr. Modi, the respected Prime Minister, he changed the currency, he withdrew all certain kinds of notes and he issued a new currency. The RBI issued a new currency. That was demonetization. Okay. When the notes got changed, when the currency had to undergo a complete turnover, certain notes were banned. They were no more in use in the market. They were no more considered to be accepted currency in the market. That was demonetization. Okay. Withdrawal of currency. Very good. Okay. Okay. RP has given me a RP. Thank you so much. This is for Dimple. I'm sure, Dimple, you must have experienced it. Note bandi, which you call in Hindi. So RP has given me a detailed definition. I really want to read it out. On 8th November 2016, the Government of India announced the demonetization of all rupees 500 and 1000 banknotes of the Mahatma Gandhi series. It also announced the issuance of new 500 and 2000 rupee banknotes in exchange for the demonetized banknotes. Okay, too many banknotes, but a very well explained answer. Good, RP. Thank you so much. Yes, Baba Sahib, note banned. Very good, Tanmeet. Okay, so clear, Mrs. Dimple, is it okay now? Fine. So the first point, second point, third point, fourth point are okay. Fifth is the easiest to understand. You finally writing the report. After so many steps, after so much of hard work, finally you come to the stage where, oh, okay, you hadn't heard the word. So maybe you know the Hindi version of it, or maybe you know the South, your regional language version of it, but demonetization is what we are all discussing. Okay, the change of currency which happened in 2016. Fine. Monetary is money related. Monetize is to make money out of it, and demonetize is to remove it. DE is a prefix which is always used before a word when you just want to remove the second half. That's D. Clear. Okay. Thank you so much, Dimple. Yes, Baba Sahib, that's correct. So finally, we are writing the report. Let's come to point 5. Okay, a lot of demonetization. We already had a lot of trouble that time. So let's not come back to that. Okay. Then finally, you revise and redraft. I think people are not understanding the 6th point because there is no space in that word. I should be writing it with a space. Give me a second. Okay, is it fine now? So basically, after you write a report, which is kind of not the 100% report, but there is scope for improvement, then we revise it, which means we read through it, we go again, we read each line, and then we try and redraft it. Redrafting is to writing the report again. Okay. And finally, we're going to present it and we're going to get it published. If it's meant to be published, we're getting it published in the magazine of the organization, of the college, or maybe, a corporate, or you simply present it to the authorities, whoever it was meant for. And then the report writing is done. Oh my God. It is such a long, tedious task. You know the purpose, to know the target, X, Y, Z. So report writing is an intensive process. Definitely. It's not something which you can just do at the spur of the moment. You can't just think about ideas and do a report. You have to work on your background, on your preparation, and then come with a report. Okay? Clear? Any doubts in the steps? Anything which you want to ask, anything which you want to add, anything which you want to share, anything which is not clear, you might question. Whatever is the concern, please feel free, because I will not be repeating the whole thing again. It gets very difficult. But if you have a doubt till now about the steps, please feel free to ask. All clear? Okay. Fine. So I move on to the next slide. Flowchart for writing a report. So what I just now did in terms of 1, 2, 3, 4 bullet points, I have given it in a more explanatory way, which is the flowchart way. What is the flowchart way? You have to pre-write the purpose and the audience, brainstorm and form, which is pre-write is before you actually start writing, you know what is the purpose and who is your audience. And then you're going to brainstorm. Brainstorm is start thinking about ideas, start moving your mind towards that, start racking your brains. Okay, what am I going to write? How will my report look? How many things, how many pages, how many words, what are the main subtitles and subheadings I'm going to, it's just in the mind. Then comes the writing part. In the writing part, organization, voice, word choice, sentence fluency. So writing is basically how am I going to word it? Where am I going to keep the ideas? How am I going to number it? Voice is active voice or passive voice. Word choices, am I going to make it sound very, very formal? Am I going to make it sound like little formal? Sentence fluency is, what kind of sentence, direct speech, indirect speech. Should I write simple sentences? Should I make it sound very, very complicated? All that is style of writing. Third comes redraft is to write again, Shruti. So if you've written something already, draft is nothing but a format of a written piece, something which you have written for one time. Second draft, third draft is second version, third version. So redraft is writing it again. Okay. Okay, I'll just zoom it. Is it better now, Mahima? So this is revise. This is rewrite. Then this is writing, which is the third thing. Then comes responding. So for responding, the teacher peer conference or the self-peer evaluation. Teacher peer conference is, suppose you're going to do it for a school or a college. So the colleagues, the students and the teachers will sit and discuss it. If it's for myself to understand, then I'm going to evaluate myself. How have I done it? It's just like, how does it look like? It's like second thought coming. What is my final answer? Does it look good? Do I think it needs changes? That is response. Then it comes to the revision, which is I start clarifying my thoughts. I think there is some reorganizational structure required. I think I need to improve my language in this line. I think I've written like 10 sentences, which can be clapped down to 2 sentences. So precise language, I have to use more, I have to be more brief and I have to be more short. That is revising. And last of all is, if you see here, editing. Editing is like the standard conventions. There are editors who are meant to do this in a very technical way. They are like, let's say, official editors. So you might need some symbols for editing. So you might just give it to you might just give it to a professional editor, or you might do it on your own. And last of all comes publishing and sharing. Publishing and sharing is basically, finally, you're sharing it with the authorities. The author's chair is nothing but the authorities. You're performing it, which is you're presenting it. You're putting it on the website if it's going to be an e-report, or you're going to put it on the bulletin board if it's in the college or the institute or an organization. That is finally putting it to the public, putting it to the audience for which it was meant. Okay. So that's how all this happens. Now, you basically have to understand the flow chart is quite self-explanatory. right? So if you kind of use a flow chart in your report, it's always considered to be good. Because sometimes what happens is too many points, too many bullets, we generally don't like it. I don't want to read so much. So I rather say that let's do it in the form of a flow chart. Okay? Clear, everybody? Any doubt? Anything? Any concerns? Any topics which you're not understood? Anything you want to tell me, you want to write? Okay, till now, if I say, will you all be able to write a report with whatever information I have given to you? Till now, of course, there is a lot more we have to discuss, but I'm just asking you. Yes, I'm waiting for your answers. Till now, anything you want to add on to my slides? Okay, Shweta and Tanmeet say clear. Mahima says clear. Yes, actually, Shweta, you can. There is no hard and fast rule. If you want to, you can. Not a problem at all. Okay. Himanshu says clear. Responding. Okay, Aditi, responding is nothing but, see, these are not techniques which you have to put in the paper. This is just for self-explanation. Okay. So responding means you are discussing the first draft with your teacher or your colleagues. Peers means your colleagues, people who are working with you, people of your same level. And if you don't have to show it to a teacher, but you have to do it again, then you're going to talk about it as self-evaluation. So I'm going to evaluate my own report. I'm going to judge my own work. I'm going to see how have I done. That's about it. Okay? Nothing difficult. You can, Aisha. Okay. So Aditya, what happens is they will tell you in the question, you have to use the newspaper format or you have to use the official format. And from the question itself, you will understand what is it about you are writing. That will help you to understand whether you're doing an official report or basically you're doing a newspaper report. Okay, so don't worry. Okay, anything else which is coming as a doubt? Voice basically is active voice or passive voice. Okay, so now that depends on what report, what line. So this cannot be very specific always. It might change. It depends on the situation. So I'm just mentioning that sometimes you might need to work in an active voice. Sometimes you might need to work in a passive voice. That depends. Okay. Peer evaluation means peers. You know what is peer? Peer pressure. We keep using that word. So peer means people of your own age group. So your colleagues, your counterparts, your friends, your classmates, your people whom you're working with, all those are peers. So the thing is, when I say peer evaluation, so somebody at your own level is going to see the report and give you suggestions. It's more on a very informal basis because formal basis, you will do it when you're giving it to the editor. But on an informal basis, you're just going to get it checked by your friends and your partners, and then you'll see, okay, it's more or less okay. Let's finally revise it and redraft it. That is peer evaluation. Nabeen, bulletin board is the board, like, a green board which is put on the corridors and in the classrooms. I'm sure you had it in your school. You have boards where you pin up things like posters and some important circulars. That's a bulletin board. And author's chair is, you're going to submit it to the authorities, the chairman, that is author's chair. Okay? Clear? Any doubt? Anything which is a concern still, please feel free to ask. Can I move forward? Okay. Okay, so these are some examples of magazine reports. So what can be the possibilities in a magazine reports? You can have scientific reports. So there are magazines which are completely science-based. Then there can be survey reports, a survey done, how many children of what age group are using mobiles, how many children at what age group are playing Candy Crush, how many teenagers at what age group are getting addicted to games which are like, esports maybe. Those can be survey reports. Like recently, there was a Zomato survey finding out which particular food item was ordered most in 2022, and biryani was at number one. So that's a survey report. So you get your statistics, is basically your analysis. Sometimes there are reports on what was your most listening trend. Those kind of reports come in Spotify. That is possible. Fashion reports, again, when you have fashion TVs, what is the fashion, what is most trending. School events can be something happened in your school, an inauguration, a sports day, an annual day, a cultural fest. Same with college. Last can be environmental reports, which is, the AQI level in a particular city, how much of ozone got depleted, how much of nitrogen oxides and other unwanted gases were present in a particular day, the fog level, the smog levels, all these are environmental reports. And like I've written on my slide, the list is endless. You can have so many magazine reports. It can be just on anything and everything. If you want, you can tell me some good examples or more examples for magazine reports. I would love to hear. Yes, bulletin board is like notice board. Yes, Lovepreet, correct. Case studies are a little different, Ankur, because they talk about a particular case, and you also have your own opinions involved. So case studies are not only report writing, they are part of report writing. Okay, because you're talking about a particular case and you're going to study it. So studying it doesn't mean you only have factual things. You might just have some kind of an opinion. You might have questions. You might leave it open-ended, because everybody interprets a case study in their own way. So that's why case studies can be a little different from report writing. Yes, okay, Astha. Political reports, when you have elections, you come out with these exit polls. Hindi mein you say rujhan. So these are nothing but reports. Any other reports which you think can probably help you understand what is report writing? Weather, okay. Business, okay. Must be on recipe and cooking. What must be on recipe and cooking? Please tell me. Ritu, what are you talking about? Must be on recipe and cooking. I didn't get that. Yeah, population data, yes. Health concerns, very good. Business world, yes. Memorial event, okay. Interviews, organizing a blood camp, blood donation camp. Chief Minister came to college as guest. Yes, yes, very good. All this can be report. Correct. So I think now you've all understood what exactly would this mean. I'm happy. The only thing I want you to understand is sometimes reports become a little technical. So there is a lot of expertise involved. So like if I am an expert in accounts, I can make reports which have accounts. But if I'm an expert in chemistry, then I will not be able to make reports on maybe, let's say, fashion or school events. So every report has to be dealt with from a certain expertise point of view. Okay, understood? Okay, sports, RP says historical, very good. Mastan says economic reports, yes. So if you all are reading the Economic Times, you will understand that how economic reports are very, very important. Recipes are not reports, Ritu. So just get that clear. Recipes are just personal opinions about how to make a dish. But that necessarily does not mean it's a report, because it's not fact, no? It's just a way of preparing a particular dish. So if you're seeing MasterChef India recently started, if some person is making a particular dish, you cannot report it. Okay, so that's not a report. Travel reports ho sakta hai, that's mostly they come under journals. Money works. Matlab, what do you mean, Pramod? Money works? What do you mean by money works, please? Okay. Money May. Can I call you Money May? So disease reports is basically like what happened after COVID, how many hospitals failed, etc. All those are disease reports, if you want to call them. That's what you mean, I think, isn't it? If you meant something else, then tell me, but I think that's what you meant. Okay, so all of you have kind of understood. I think I can move forward. You've understood what exactly is report writing till here. Financial report, wages report, judiciary report, yeah, mortality reports, death reports, everything is there. Very good. Okay, now let's move on to the next part of this. Just give me a second. We're talking about newspaper reports, which of course is the same as we have discussed. You can have a look at my slide. You can see whatever you've told me. Area-based reports are like, we're talking about some particular areas. I'm talking about what's happening in Darbhanga. Then I'm going to talk about that. What's happening in Amravati? I'm going to talk about that. What's happening in Guntur? I'm going to talk about that. What's happening in Cherrapunji? So area-based reports are only specifically catering to that area. Okay. Daily reports are like, when you have an organization or let's say the housekeeping staff, how many housekeeping members reported, what all did they do, attendance, absence, all that comes under daily report. Okay. Demography. Demo means people. Graphy is writing on the population. So population related reports really mean, when you're talking about community based, what is the demography? How many X community, Y community, Z community people stay in a particular area? That's demography. Population, you all understand? Yes, Ritu, you can. Okay, Rabish, that's great. No, Ritu, daily report is not current affairs. Daily reports can be one, it can be newspaper reports, whatever is happening around. That is what it means. So yes, current affairs, and it can be national and international both. Okay. So what is the idea behind me sharing all this? My idea is that when you get to write a report, you have a fair enough knowledge about what am I writing, why am I writing, to whom am I writing, and what all should I write, because there are several reports possible. Okay. Yes, Astha, that's possible. Economic reports. You have economic magazines also, but you can put them under newspapers also. So my list is not like a comprehensive list. This is just examples. These are just hints. The list can be endless. The list can be long enough. So don't worry about that. Okay. Fine. Now, here I've given you two examples, the two formats. The first is a magazine format. The second is a newspaper format. Can you quickly see what is the difference between the two? Nazat, I did not understand your question. You have to write a report on subject and chapter. Which subject and which chapter? Chapter 9, you mean? I'm so sorry, Nazat. Can you please explain again? What are you trying to ask? How should you write the report? Then we're going to discuss the examples. If you mean how should I write a report on any topic, whether it's a magazine or a newspaper report, that will be mentioned in the question. Okay, good Sarvesh and good Aditya. So in the magazine report, we generally don't write the place because it's more casual. But in the newspaper report, we write the place because it's more about current affairs. It's more about day to day. Okay, so we need to know where did that happen. That's the difference. So this is the basic format. Now, please remember here and there, extra one line, extra less line, the one line less, that's okay. Don't feel concerned about all that. The main thing is there is a title, there is the name of the author, there is a good body of the report. So a magazine report and a newspaper report can simply be written in paragraphs. You can have one paragraph, two paragraphs. We generally don't have long reports in magazines and newspapers. Long reports go into the official report document, wherein you have content, index, what all is there, bibliography, references, objective, thanks, appreciation, all that comes into the official report, which we will discuss in the next class. Right now, we are doing the easiest version, the magazine and the newspaper report. Okay. Yeah. So if you say Nazhat, subject is stock market, what report will you write on stock market? It has to be some specific part of stock market, right? So what was the trend for a particular share today? So in the stock market, what exactly happened with a particular share? That can be. If you're writing a general report on the stock market, then it has to be very dynamic because the market keeps changing every day. Okay, so if you're simply talking about the NSE and the BSE, then you have to be very, very fast because reports cannot be talking about long terms. No conclusion, Mahima. Demography reports are basically about the style of the community, the people in a particular area, which community is more, which religion is more, what kind of a society is that. That is about the people. Okay. Yes, Shweta, correct. Okay, Ritu. Okay, Pramod. Mahima, I wouldn't say it's informal formal because reports are all formal. So I would not confuse you by saying that, there was an informal report also. Then we'll mix it with the articles. So please don't call reports informal. Okay? Okay. Any other doubt? Fine. So let's move forward. Okay. So I have two questions of practice and I'm showing you the example. They are like clearly done. Please have a clear look. The first is you are a sports reporter for a newspaper daily and you have to write a detailed report on the final IPL match 2019. Like this is an old story. You can make it the new story between CSK and MI. And this was held at Hyderabad. So I have given you where was it held and I've given you who you are and I'm also given you the finalists. Now you have to write in a newspaper. Okay? Tell me, how will you do it? So first, we will use the newspaper format because the question says it is a newspaper daily. So no more doubts about that. Okay. Second, make it formal. Why? Because it's a newspaper report. You are going to write about it in detail. If it's a detailed report, then people will be believing on the report to understand the final match. So don't leave it like casual. It says detail, so it has to have place, venue, date. Okay. Place, venue, date means venue is the location, place, venue is the city, venue is where did it happen? It happens at the Uppal's Stadium in Hyderabad, so you have to mention that. Date, of course, you've understood. How the match started. So the match started, by will be written on the left side of the page, body will start from the middle. Aditi, that's not important. You can write, yeah, by of course starts from the left side. You can start the report also from the left side. If you want it in the middle, that's also okay. I mean, that kind of an arrangement, it's perfect. Okay. Okay, what are you asking? IPL match, okay. Okay. So Manish, 2019 Hyderabad, that's not the title. You can use a better title, I think. Which type of reports have maximum chance to come? Astha, you have to prepare all reports. There is nothing about which type of reports can come maximum. All reports can come. Name is your name. If you don't have a name written, then you can write your name. You are basically the reporter. You are a sports reporter, so you can simply write Astha Ghosh. Okay? How the match started, this is like using good adjectives. The match started on a very dull note because the match started on a very shocking note, or the match started at a very, let's say, interesting note because first ball, the batsman got out, second ball, the batsman got out, and let's say there was a hat trick expected by the bowler. So create that interest. It's a newspaper report, right? So you just have to imagine what all happened in the match, and then you are going to put all that into good words. And words should be expressive. Words should have emotions. Words should make me feel that I'm in the real match scenario. That's what good writing is about. Okay? Where we have to write and how we'll show you. You can write it here, Ankur. I can see your answer right now. That's not a problem. Yes, Astha, that can be the title. No problem, Ankur. Please feel free. You can write it here in the comment section and the report will come to me. Or you can send it in the query. There is a query tab in the portal. You can put it there and then the query reaches me. I can read your report and I can get back to you in the next class. Yes, Pramod, you can write that. MI lift the trophy. Very good title. No problem. Okay. Then fourth is bits of match details that were important and interesting. So you're just going to focus on some important details of the match. You don't have to describe the whole match because space is limited, words is limited. Newspaper always has limited areas. You have a defined section for sports page. You cannot have the sports page across 10 pages. So all those restrictions have to be followed. And finally, the scorecard details at certain moments. Okay, so after 30 minutes of the match, this was the score. After 20 minutes of the match, this was the score. And towards the end of the match, there was only 1 wicket left and CSK was about to lose, etc. So words will create emotions. Words will create that interest. That's why I keep saying read a lot. If you read a lot, you have a very strong vocabulary, and that is going to help you in your English language paper where you have the vocabulary section. You have synonyms and you have antonyms also. Then there are questions from the reading comprehension also, which are synonyms, antonyms based. And you're going to talk about, some good information being passed in good language. Okay, so Tanvi, the problem with your title is who will pick the cup? The match has already happened. Okay, so we know who has picked the cup. So you cannot keep it as a question mark because we already know the information. Got it? So Pramod has given me a good title, MI lift the trophy, because it's an already happened incident. So there is nothing which is a secret or there is nothing which I'm going to reveal. MI win the finals at Hyderabad. CSK wins the final. CSK lose badly. CSK lose by a margin of just a run. CSK lose by a thin margin. Whatever. I mean, that's just ways of giving you answers. Okay. The thriller final at night. Okay, the thriller IPL final at night. Okay, because finals, I don't know what are you talking about, Ankit. Okay, the biggest rivalry at 7. 7 p.m. you mean 7.00. Why? I didn't understand 7 as in the time 7. Who made the match instructing? No. That cannot be a title, Shruti. That doesn't sound to be a good title. Make it more relevant, please. Really happy you guys are trying. I really appreciate this class because all of you are trying so hard to come out with something close to perfect so that, you get full marks. And I appreciate that kind of an effort which comes from you students. So very good, guys. Early in the morning, you join the class, you come with me, you stay with me for 2 hours. You respond to all my questions. You actively attempt the questions. You share your thoughts. Really wonderful. Yes, Mahavir, good. What, Aditi? If I don't... Yes, Aditya, correct. Aisha, not exactly. If you misinterpret, I mean, the information will be given. So there are very less chances that you misinterpret the winner because you are not expected to know general knowledge here. So for example, you don't know who was the winner. It's okay. Okay, so you're talking about jersey number 7? That doesn't make sense. The best rivalry at 7, Manish. Okay, so I think you all have understood the format. So I have one more practice. So you can also write about how the audience reacted whenever there were a consecutive 6 being hit, a hat trick 6. And finally, the conclusion. The conclusion is just like a good ending of the report. That's it. And I've written it in red specifically. Aditi, that's okay. No, don't worry. Because if you don't know about the real incident, you can simply cook it up on your own and you can make it fictional and you can write it towards the end of the answer that this is a fictional report. Okay, you can do that. because not everybody watches IPL, not everybody is supposed to remember all match details. It's perfectly fine. Okay, fine. This is the second practice. Thanks, Aisha. Mahima, I'm going to upload it. I'll ask the ICI people, I'll ask the people in the office to upload it. And you can put it in the query, where are the slides being uploaded, and you can see them. Okay, let's quickly do the second question. You are the assistant editor of your college magazine, Sankalp. That's the name of the magazine. You have to write a report, 250 to 300 words. A famous personality visited your college as part of the college festival program. So you have annual festivals in colleges. Let's see who visited. That you can make up. The name of the college you can make up. The day, the date, the venue you can make up, because all that information is not given. Use the magazine format. It is a college magazine. The name is given Sankalp. State the name of the event. Like generally, college festivals have names. Like Delhi University College, like Miranda House, would have a name of the festival as the Tempest. IIT Delhi has a festival named Rendezvous. So you have to name. You can make it on your own. That's perfectly okay. You don't have to take up real institutes and real colleges. You can make up a name, the venue, time, date. Who visited? So Tendulkar visited, or maybe Pele. I'm sorry, the famous wrestler Khali visited, or maybe the CM of Delhi, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal visited, or somebody from the ministry, Mrs. Smriti Irani visited, or somebody from the Bollywood industry, let's say Varun Dhawan visited. Whatever is the context, or maybe Mrs. Kiran Bedi visited, or some famous IAS officer visited, that you can write on your own. It depends on what was the event that day and why did that person visit. Discuss the participations. You can talk about what all participation the students participated in huge numbers. Everybody was showing a lot of enthusiasm and energy. The energy levels were as high as, astronomical units. The audience was very well dressed, very well behaved. This event happened in the auditorium, and then the celebrity guest came on stage and distributed prizes or gave kind words of appreciation. Talk about the participation, talk about the events, and last, talk about how exactly these festivals, college festivals, are beneficial for students, how exactly they let people come out of their shell and be very, very participative and active and bring out their extrovert nature. So it kind of brings a good impact on the society. The teachers and the principal were also in a very friendly and jovial mood. So the students had a very good time. They enjoyed, they mixed with each other. There was a lot of networking, a lot of social networking happening. So at the end of it, the college festival was a grand success. That's the conclusion, okay? Which is just something like ending your story, right? But whatever happened, you have to put it in the topic, okay? So that's the end of my slides. I think I've been able to make it clear to you what is a report writing, part 1. Second part, of course, we'll be doing day after tomorrow on 6th of January. Then we'll take up more of official documents. Today we did magazine reports and newspaper reports. I've done 2 practice questions. Please refer to the study material. Please refer to the MTPs and RTPs. Practice on your own. For any doubt, you can feel free to connect with me, or you can ask me in the class next time. Once I'm done with my bit of it, I will definitely take up your doubts. Okay? Oh, okay. Very good, Ankur. Bill Gates visited your college. Vicky Kaushal, okay. Josh. Mirabai Chanu visited FunFest at MSU. Very good. So all of you are telling me which college had which celebrity visit. You can definitely think about that. So these are interesting topics. You have a lot of ideas, and you guys are anyway so smart. You have really a lot of ideas. So thank you so much for all your inputs. I hope I've tried to make myself clear to a certain level. Rest, of course, depends on how much you practice, how much interest you show towards the topic, and how much seriously you take BCR as a paper. So thank you so much, guys. See you soon. I really had a wonderful time with you in the class. Thanks a lot, and have a nice day. Thank you.